Abortion. A medical operation in which a developing baby is removed from a woman's body so that it is not born alive. The number of abortions performed each year is dropping. She had an abortion when she was 15 years old. Acceptance. General agreement that something is true, reasonable, or cannot be changed. There is widespread acceptance of these principles. Anti-racist policies were gradually gaining acceptance at the time. Accumulate. To get more and more of something over a period of time. Over the years, I had accumulated hundreds of books. Medical evidence for the benefits of the procedure had been accumulating. Accustomed. If you are accustomed to something, you have experienced it often enough for it to seem normal to you. I've worked nights for years now, so I've grown accustomed to it. She isn't accustomed to dealing with such media attention. Ball. To be quick to understand and react to things. She's over 90, but she's still on the ball. When you're at Sant Station, you'll need to be on the ball to find the tube. Basis. A particular method or system used for doing or organising something. Tickets will be sold on a first come, first served basis. There is no scientific basis for these claims. Best. Used for referring to the person or thing that is the most satisfactory, suitable, pleasant, effective, of the highest quality. Coaching football is the next best thing to playing. Negotiation is always the best way of settling a dispute. Beyond. Past a place or outside an area. The empire extended to the river Danube and beyond. he could see a line of cypress trees and beyond it a landscape of red hills. Cater. To provide food and drinks at an event. How many are we catering for at the wedding reception? I can understand why you shortlisted these 3 proposals, as all of them seem good enough to cater for our canteen. Cereal. A food made from grain, for example wheat, oats or corn, mainly eaten with milk for breakfast. I like to eat a bowl of cereal for breakfast. During this part you can see cereal crops, mainly wheat. Changeable. Tending to change suddenly and often. This is a period of rather changeable weather. I must say that summers here are a bit mild and changeable. Chatty. Someone who is chatty enjoys talking a lot in a friendly way. Rosie is certainly in a chatty mood today. My sister is very chatty. Date. The name and number of a particular day, year, or particular day, month or year when something happens. The date on the report is the 24th of October 2005. The precise date of the book's publication is not known. Debut. The first time that a performer or sports player appears in public. Cooper made his debut at Covent Garden in 1989. Madonna's film debut in Desperately Seeking Susan. Dedicated. Spending all your time and effort on something. We are fortunate to have such a highly skilled and dedicated workforce. He was a very hard-working and dedicated to his research. Deduction. An amount or number taken from a total. Italian workers pay far more in tax and other deductions. Interest will be paid without deduction of tax. Defense. Actions that you take to protect someone or something that is being attacked. Two of his friends came to his defense. Huge amounts of government money are spent on defence. Edible. Food that is edible is safe or good enough to eat. The food in the cafeteria is barely edible. Part of your journey can be made through the forests where you can pick up some edible berries. Elite. A small group of people who have a lot of advantages and keep the most power and influence. Only a small elite among mountaineers can climb these routes. But before you decide to become one of the elite, you should think about all the freedom you would be giving up and all the freedom you would get. Enclose. To surround someone or something. The swimming pool was enclosed by a fence. Her arms enclosed him. Engage. To attract and keep someone's interest or attention. A good radio script should be able to engage the listener. The debate about food safety has engaged the whole nation. Envisage. To have something as a plan or an intention. We envisage charging a small sum for the use of our services. It was initially envisaged that the work would last for about a month. Fascination. The power to interest or attract people very strongly. The place had held a strange fascination for her ever since. The idealism of the 1960s continues to exert a fascination. feel. To be in a particular state as a result of an emotion or a physical feeling. I was feeling quite cheerful when we set out. Sam felt cold and utterly miserable. Fiction. Books and stories about imaginary events and people. Hardy wrote poetry as well as fiction. It is sometimes difficult to distinguish fact from fiction in the book. Finish. To do the last part of something so that it is complete. I wish you'd let me finish my sentence. She had just finished dressing the children when the phone rang. Garment. A piece of clothing. This word is used especially when talking about the production and sale of clothes. The garment workers were being paid very low wages. They were luxurious garments made of silk and velvet. Generalization. A statement that is true in most situations. We can draw some interesting generalizations from this data. It's unfair to make generalizations about teenagers being lazy and untidy. Genetic. Relating to genes or to the study of genes. Doctors believe the condition is caused by a genetic defect. Mendel thought that basically it is the genetic material which is responsible for the future development of a child. Germ. A form of bacteria that spreads disease among people or animals. It's a germ that causes sore throats. Wash your hands before cooking so that you don't spread germs.